Thank you for tuning in to another edition of The Prescription. It is your girl, the hitting Lovr, and I am here with the one and only Jax legend, Mr. Young Swain. How are you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. I want to say first off, thank you for allowing me to come to Studio 333 so we can do this interview.
Absolutely. I appreciate you coming.
I first of all, the look of the studio is amazing. I love it. It's comfortable. And guys, this couch, I want to go to sleep. I'm so serious. It's so comfortable. I'm already tired. You don't understand. But all right, so I know you've been doing music in Jacksonville for a long time. The first question I want to kind of ask you is, how have you seen the music scene change in Jacksonville?
I would say with the rise of social media, the game changed drastically. You know, back when we started doing music, it was way harder to get your music out there to the consumer or, you know, to the people. You would have to press up 10,000 CDs, hit the road, you know what I mean, have different connections, things like that. At this particular time, I mean, all you really got to do, you could take a phone, shoot a video, and shoot, within 20, 30 minutes, you have something online, you know what I mean? So it's a difference in regards to that. However, the game itself is still about a budget. You got to have a budget. Because even if you doing all of your social media stuff, this, that, and the third, you got to boost in order to touch the people. So it's still a numbers game, but at the end of it, you know, that's probably one of the biggest differences I saw.
I agree, and I know I talked to a few people that, you know, have been in Jacksonville game, and I know that's one of the things people usually tend to run to, like just the ease of entry now versus the change in music. But I know, like right now, your latest album was Studio 333, but it's one before that called Grown Man Literature Volume 2, and you did two parts. You did the Evolve and the Revelation. So what was kind of the inspiration behind that, and then the comparison between the two sides?
So realistically, it was 4 of them. I only could publish 2 of them because a lot of the other ones had samples and stuff like that on it. So that ended up kind of dictating the way I was able to put them out. But the grown man literature has always been like a concept of mine. You know, I was always the youngest dude in my circle, but thought-wise, I was always around the oldest. You know, so the transition in that album was going from being a youth to actually developing and having a different understanding of the world and life in itself.
I like that mindset, because I think the song that stuck out to me the most on that one is No Excuses.
Right, for sure.
And I swear that's what we was talking about earlier, like it's no excuses, like it keeps going. And I mean, that one kind of stuck out to me. But like I say, the last album you put out last year was 333, but also your studio's name, Studio 333. So what's the significance of 333 for you?
A couple of years ago, about 2 years ago, I was on the road, you know, driving trucks or what have you, and I ended up going through a little situation with cancer where I had stomach cancer. But at the time, I didn't know exactly what was going on, you know what I mean? I was just in a place in space. But everywhere I turned, I just kept saying 333, like literally, even till this day, I seen 333 early. Like every day since then, I've seen 333. So I took it as, you know, it's something that's talking to me. So I named the project 333 as I was going through, coming out of the cancer situation, going through, you know, all of the surgeries and stuff like that. I literally did that album with a bag hanging out my side. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's why, you know, if you really listen to it, you'll hear a song called I'm Asking. And before that was the nurse talking to me, you know, and telling me like, what, you had that kind of cancer, you went through this procedure, she like, you really blessed to be here, you know? So, yeah.
Man, that's an inspiring story. So are you cancer free now?
Yeah.
Wow.
Thank the Creator.
Most definitely. So now I know that you're currently working on No Mercy for an upcoming movie.
Yeah.
You want to tell us more about that?
All right, so my partner UL Select Productions and Mike Clemens, Chef Mike, that's my partner. They put together a concept called No Mercy in Duval, which is a feature-length film. From there, I'm actually building the soundtrack, doing the scores and stuff like that for it. But the second movie, No Mercy in Duval 2, I'm actually featured in the movie as well as doing the soundtrack and stuff like that too. So it's a good film, like real good film.
So y'all hear that? Y'all make sure y'all check out No Mercy in Jacksonville. We definitely have to support the projects that we have done here in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
And definitely speaking of supporting the projects, I know that you recently had the back to school with the workforce, workforce industrial training.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I know a lot of times we need to give back more. So what do I think from the entertainment side, what are more things we can do in the community to try to get the community more involved in our community as far as the entertainment industry?
Everybody need to hold arms, you know what I mean? Myself, you know, I deal in music and stuff like that, but I sit on the board of about 3 different nonprofits. You know, I actually do business out here. It's not just music. You know, I have a media and marketing company. I work with workforce industrial training where I'm a actual instructor. I teach students that come through, you know. Also, you know, I do a lot of different stuff, but the big thing would be partnering up, you know, partnering up with people that fit your interests, fit your vision board, you know what I mean? And that's how you get at it. You know, with the back to school drive, I ended up linking up with a guy from Noah's Neighbors, and we end up connecting the dots on that. Noah ended up bringing in Direct Auto. Direct Auto came out to give back to the community. You know, so we were just the conduits that help all of that make sense, you know.
I feel you. Definitely, like, say, partnerships and just kind of getting out there and doing it. And you do juggle a lot of hats. So my next question is more so, how do you stay balanced? Like, how do you, you know, make sure you have that downtime and put on the different hats for the different things that you do?
That's a good question. I am balanced. I'm a Libra. You know what I mean?
Fellow Libra. See, I knew the synergy was good for a reason.
Yeah, I'm a Libra, so you know everything on the scales. But I can't say that I don't fumble in certain areas. You know what I mean? But I have to stay balanced through everything that I do. I don't think that I cannot do everything that I do in a sense. You know what I mean? Focusing on one thing probably wouldn't be it for me.
I got you. I like that. So now let me ask you, what made you go into mass media?
Mass media. It's art. I love art. Everything.
Straightforward and simple.
Yeah, everything that's dealing in art, like I deal with. You know, I deal with that.
All right, I'm gonna ask kind of a personal question, because I know we sit in the studio. What do you use in the studio to fuel you? What kind of food or drinks you pulling out? The snacks you pulling out in the studio?
Ain't no snacks. Ain't no snacks.
What meal?
Grown people drink. Little bit of grown people drink. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna go too deep in it. You know, my kids might see this one day. You know what I mean? But grown people drink. You know, a little bit of that and just good vibes. You know. Everybody who I deal with, we all vibe on certain type of frequencies, you know, and all the same kind of chords. So when you build in power, everybody got power. We pull, we draw from each other, you know, and then we build that synergy together and make it do what it do.
Definitely, I like that. I know somebody who knew you from back in the day, and they said that you used to open up your garage at your house and allow people to come and record. Like, what got you started doing that?
Just the love of it, you know, the love of music. Like I said, I ended up meeting a lot of good people during that time period. I mean, it wasn't just letting people come and record. You talking about I got musicians, like real musicians. I got a whole live band out there, and we doing live sessions right there. But you know, just the fact that people even remember that, you know, that shows that it made an impact. So yeah, that was a thing.
Yeah, definitely. We was talking to, it was like that helped them so much. And, you know, and the live instruments. I am a fan of live instruments. So do you still use live instruments in your recording?
Absolutely.
You kind of explain what's the difference, because I think some people, because you know, people talk about beat makers versus producers. So you are an engineer and producer as well. So can you kind of give, you know, the extra feel or the different feel from bringing in the live instruments into your music?
It's hard to, I guess, verbally express it. You feel the difference. You feel the difference. You know, if okay, so say just making loops and stuff like that. That's typically what it's called, you know, loops. You might have an 8-bar loop. This loop is going to be repetition. So it's this chunk, this chunk, this chunk, this chunk throughout the duration of the song. But if you bring somebody live on it, they flow. They going to flow with the energy of the song. You know what I mean? Whether it be the music or whether it be the words that's being dictated or what have you. You know, it's just a different vibe, you know. And one thing about, if you go to live shows and stuff like that, you'll never hear the same show again. Like, they can do the same song, but each time they do the same song, they're going to do it different because it's the feeling of the moment, you know. So live music is exactly that, live.
So it adds to that getting lost in the beat and having that freedom and just letting it go. I like that. I like that.
When you're dealing with people who can really play, you know what I mean? As long as it ain't no noise, you know what I mean?
I got you. Got to have a couple level skills, a little skill to it.
Yeah, at least be intermediate. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So my next question I want to ask you is, what is your prescription to success?
Just keep going. You gotta keep going. You know, no matter what, you gotta keep going. You know what I mean? It don't matter how up you is or how down you are. You gotta keep going. But one thing about it, you know, days can change all of it. So it's just, I guess it's faith. Faith in that unseen.
I like that. I've not heard that. All the interviews, I have never heard that one, but I love that one. Yeah. Just that faith and that just keep going, that persevering, that falling forward, you know, and just keep getting up. Absolutely. I like that. So how do you, because you're a conscious being, I hear it in your music, I hear it in your speech. How do you tie all that together with your different modes and still be able to put your message out that you was given?
I guess because I deal with people on all different levels, you know what I mean? Like even right now in my life, like I deal with politicians and principalities, but at the same time I still deal with those boys that's on the street doing what they do. You know, an old head told me years ago, rich dude, you know, he was like, you know how to move through the jungle. You know how to navigate, you know what I mean? And I think what I try to do is just speak the language, like Pimp C said, speak the language of the elder. You know what I mean? You gotta understand who you're talking to and when you're talking to those people. You know, so I speak from experience to younger people, and then I speak from experience to older people too. You know.
I definitely like that. And I'm sitting here thinking, because I'm like, you have so much red and I'm wearing red today, and I was like, that just like such a coincidence. Right? I'm wearing the red and black and his color. So what's up? What the colors, are they significant to you? Because I also see your shirt is black and red.
Yeah, what's crazy, I just made the shirt and then you came in the same colors and I ain't even people. You know what I mean? I don't know. Honestly, when I painted the studio, because I had another studio that I had on Clark Road, and one thing I know about colors create energy. You know what I mean? In that studio I had like orange walls and have an accent wall that's like a lime green or something like that, you know, just to make it a creative space. Yellow walls and stuff like that. But this particular go around, I was like, I like that red, you know what I mean? So I got all of the furniture and all of that stuff to match it, you know what I mean? And it's been a vibe. Yeah,
it does have this vibe. It's like this subtle, passionate vibe. Like that red brings that passion, but it's still subtle and subtle in here.
Right.
So, what are some of the things you got coming up? I know we talked about the soundtrack and you being featured in No Mercy and Duval Part 2. So, what are some other things you got coming up?
I'm working on an album right now called Black Rose.
Okay.
I just talked to some producers with BET and stuff like that, looking to get some more music and films and doing scoring and stuff like that. We're advancing at the school, so we just opened up a huge school on Sutel, the old Winn-Dixie building inside of that plaza where the Domino's is. We got the big building in the back. You'll see Workforce Industrial Training. I'm getting ready to open another studio. Hopefully this one should have 3 rooms in it versus, just a single room with a couple of my partners. Business is pretty good.
I see. You're a man of many, many hats. So one of the last things I'm gonna ask you is, what's some advice you would give to the younger version of you?
Boy, you should have listened.
Y'all had that talk.
You should have listened. But trust your instincts. Trust your mind. You should have believed in your mind because you were right all along. You just didn't know it. You know what I mean? So to the young people, same thing. Trust your instincts. You know right from wrong. That is a universal language. Everybody got that universal language. You know what I mean? You know right from wrong. Sometimes you gotta lean on what you lean on because everybody don't have your vision. Everybody don't have your mind.
He said a few jewels in there. Definitely, first of all, trust that gut. That's your soul talking to you. And
Sure.
those instincts, that's your soul. And definitely, that last one, your vision. You're the only person that can see your vision. God
Sure.
gave you, the Most High Creator, whatever word you use. That vision is the only one you see. So nobody else will be able to follow your dreams but you.
For sure.
So definitely, like he said earlier, keep falling forward, keep persevering, have faith. And I want to give you the last words in any events, anything you got coming up in your social media. Go ahead.
We just trying to do a couple more community things. I know I'm putting together a job fair for a lot of the different students that had already crossed our paths and our doors. Doing the forklift certification classes, getting people certified, OSHA certified. Like I said, I'm doing that album. I don't really have a release date in mind yet. I'm gonna drop it when I feel like it. With social media, you can look up Young Swain, whatever. It's pretty much Young Swain across the board. But I'm not Young Swain, I'm Mr. Swain. So, it is what it is.
That's that grown man literature.
For sure.
And definitely you can follow him on all platforms. You can also find his music, Young Swain, that's YOUNSWAIN. We are here at Studio 333, so definitely if you want to come to the studio, he does shirts, he has a mass media company. You also heard he has the Workforce Industrial Training Program. They got job fairs. He does a lot of things with the community. Definitely tap in with Young Swain. Be on the lookout for more music. I want to thank you so much.
I want to thank you
for definitely taking the time. I know we had some mishaps, but we finally got a chance to sit down. And as I always say, love and light. You guys have a wonderful night. Thank y'all for tuning in to another edition of The Prescription.